Hey, good morning, everyone that's here live. And if you're watching this on YouTube, what we're going to do over the next 20 minutes is explain thoroughly to you the partner.co compensation plan. And we're also going to explain how to make the retail profit selling our products around the world. Because unlike a lot of companies in our industry, we really focus on a customer base. And we have very large retail margins for you to do very well, whether you want to build a team or not. But for those of you that are unfamiliar with our company, you'll find us everywhere at partner.co, from social media to YouTube to online. And the company actually operates debt free in the neighborhood of 400 million in revenues, where we'll be at this year. And we do that in 58 countries with official license. You'll see them there on the screen. We're shipping into more than that. But by flipping a flag on your website, you can do business either by building business partners and or selling products in any of the countries you see up there. And what we sell is very simple. We have about 100 products globally at this point, and we're all throughout the wellness economy. Everything from skincare to liquid nutrition, weight loss, energy, better sleep. We have an entire nutrition line. All of our products were doctor created. We have a ton of third-party research. We actually have about a half dozen of our products that have been inducted into the physician desk reference. But as you look at this compensation plan, just understand when you throw in all of the countries we do business in, we're in the middle of about a $4 trillion annual empire. And all you've got to go do is get your fair share here with partner.co. So one of the first things we do here is we retail products to customers. As an example, our Frontline social media signature product is Slenderize. It retails at $178, but you're going to see the ability here in just a second how we're actually able to get that basically high price and then retail that out and have that retail margin there to build a business with. So you can be a customer and just buy. You can be a brand partner and just sell. Or in addition to that, you can build a global sales team, meaning you can put people into business just like you would walk into a nutrition store. The only thing different is we don't have the fixed infrastructure here. When we buy our business here for $30, we get a virtual product website where we're able to sell from there. We're able to create smart links, and we're able to do that by flipping flags in all 58 countries. So you're going to see we get paid a number of different ways, override commissions, as we build this global sales team out. Same as any franchise out there. It's the same thing. It's just network marketing. So here's how that all works. So just like we had mentioned earlier, Kim was a customer. So Kim, you lost how much weight on the body balance and drops? You're muted, Kim. I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm sorry. The first 8 months, I lost 93 pounds.
And you're now at about 108?
Yes.
Okay, so you were about 6 months that you were just a customer buying that box of drops from someone, but people started asking you what you were doing. So at that point, you said, I would like to be a brand partner too. So the only thing that changed that day was you paid your $29.95.
That's right.
And then you began to retail. I remember you would buy in bulk and sell it out of your trunk, as everybody saw you there in South Alabama and wanted exactly whatever you were using. It was really fun to watch. But when you pay that $29.95, you get a digital business tools. You're going to get a website. There is an app. You see it there. It's called partnerco.share app. You'll download that from your favorite Apple or Android store. And once you get that downloaded, you'll be able to work from that. And you'll also be able to work straight from the website partner.co. Now, once you get your business, you've got to qualify it to start earning income. And we have 4 business levels. We want everybody to be at top pay, which is called ultimate. So it's very, very simple understanding this dynamic. You simply need to buy and or sell enough product in the first 4 Fridays you're in the company to get your volume moving through your business up to 1,500 points. When you hit the 1,500 point threshold, we're going to be seeing several slides on this to help you understand it. You're going to lock in 2 things for life. Number one, you're going to lock in 30% on anybody that you personally sponsor in as a business salesperson on their first 4 Fridays on the products they sell or until they go ultimate. You'll understand that thoroughly in 1 second. But let's go back to the basics. If you paid your $29.95, then you have to at least get your business what we call activated, and that's moving 200 points through your business. And you can see there's 2 break points on your way to ultimate there. But the other thing you achieve when you get ultimate is you unlock the first 3 generations of matching check for life with what's called gold status. You'll understand that as we go through this pay plan. Okay, so here are some ways to do it. So remember the skinny drops or body balancing drops, the retail on those is $176 plus shipping and tax, approximately $200 if somebody just buying straight retail from you from your website. However, when you pay that $29.95, you're now going to get a 30% discount. So you can buy a single box for about $123. Or you can do, and by the way, this is with most all of our products. We're just using body balancing drops as an example. You're able to bulk buy. And when you bulk buy, you're going to see in some cases you get more than a 50% discount, giving you about 100% markup on the retail side of things. So that basic 200-point start, there is a 4-pack. You can see the price is $371. It is worth 208 points. So that would make you what's called activated. I pay $29.95. I get a 4-pack. If I were to sell 3, I would get all of my money back, which would give you my box for free. There is a 10-pack that is worth 500 points. And then our top pay, we love for people to come in with our 30-pack because the discount is just unbelievable. As a matter of fact, when you get the $2,300 price for 30 boxes, you've got the per unit cost down to $77. So you're exactly $100 markup straight to retail. Anything you want to add there, Kim?
Yes, when you do the $2,300 30 boxes, you got to also, if you turn around and put that up under someone to make them ultimate, you would get a $450 bonus that's got to subtract from that 2,300. So that 450 would come from that 2,300 would be 1,850, and then you could get your drops a little bit cheaper than that.
Yeah, I've actually got some slides coming up on that. So just to clarify one quick thing there, you cannot do that until you go ultimate yourself.
That's
so
right.
The first 30-pack must be purchased through your own business. But after your ultimate, then we will do exactly what Kim said, and that is place those orders on other people, helping them, helping a lot of people. You're going to understand that very clearly in 1 second. But that is your start, either a 4-pack, 10-pack, or 30-pack. We have a system we download on your phone called Boards. I'm not training on that on this particular one, but you'll be able to scroll on through the different YouTube videos and find the boards, how we sell these skinny drops on social media. But we have every question you could possibly ask when you start advertising. We have all the answers. So they retail at $176, but our script, when people ask you how much it is, it reads exactly like this. I buy them in bulk so I can get them to you for get them for $167 to people. They are usually $200 with shipping. So I say people just over $30 on the purchase. I accept Venmo for the $167. Just let me know if you want to reserve a box because they go fast. So like you don't have to remember that because it's going to be on your app. But you can see, unlike a lot of companies in our industry, we aren't buying products to just consume that we're have an outlay of money on. We literally are going to come in with top pay. And if you sell all 30 at $167, you're going to be approaching $3,000 profitability on retail sales. And you haven't even signed a brand partner up yet. So the second thing we want to do though, once you get the hang of it, you're selling your skinny drops online, but we're also going to build a global sales team of people doing the exact same thing. So what's the difference between a customer and somebody that joins as a brand partner that becomes on your sales team? One thing, they paid $29.95 and they're buying the products through themselves, not you. That's the only thing that changes. And so now then, exactly what Kim said, you're going to get paid 9 different ways. We've just talked about the retail profits where you can make as much as $100 per box selling those boxes at retail. The second thing we're going to talk about is what Kim mentioned, and that's the new volume bonus. And then we'll move exactly through all of the stuff you see there, the base pay into the savings bonus. You're going to understand all that as we go through here. So let's look at new volume bonus, the second way you're paid first. Before we do so, for you to get paid by the company, not to retail, but to get paid by the company and to maintain a full 30% discount after your fourth Friday, you must maintain what we call it one customer a month on a subscribe and save. That can be you, but it is not required to be you. It can also be an outside customer, whatever floats your boat. But that customer has to bill every fourth Friday on what we call your qualifying week, which will be indicated to you inside of your back office what week that is. And when you go to set it up there. So it needs to be 100 points of product or more than $150. Either one of those two scenarios will work. This is an example right here, straight from the website. As a matter of fact, this is just a screenshot of the sign-up process showing you some different monthly subscriptions. And you can see there are 100 points with the skinny drops and our what we call our sugar stop, our fiber drink is exactly 150. If you want to add the superfood drink in or the product called Renew that raises your HGH slightly more, but the value on that is basically you're getting those products half price in that auto ship combination together. It's a tremendous, tremendous discount. Okay, Kim, now back to you. So we've locked in Ultimate for Life. How did we do that? We moved 1,500 points of product through our personal business by buying a 30-pack, by somebody placing volume on us from above us, by other purchases, just a cumulative 1,500 points over your first 4 Fridays. You've locked 30% for life. From that point forward, Kim, will you go ahead and explain again what you said about placing this order now on someone else?
Okay, if you place the order, just say if you do the 30-pack, that's 1,500 PV. If you place that order under a new person, then that's going to make that person ultimate, and you're going to make $450 new volume bonus. So you subtract the $450 away from 2,300, and you're going to, it'd be 1,850. It's what you would have in all 30 boxes. And you divide 30 divided by 1,850, and you getting it for like $60-something, $67 a box.
How you do that is when you go to place an order in your shopping cart. So you can see there, I've got a 10-pack put in there. A 10-pack is worth 500 points. You'll see that there on the top right. But when you do that on the second page over here, it says, who is getting credit for this order? Myself is always checked. You'll click change here, which I've already done, and it's going to open it up where it says downline brand partner. So all you do is put in their ID right here, and it will confirm who you want to place that order on. And then when you place that order, very simply, you're going to help that person get to Ultimate, and you're going to be paid 30% back because it's a first generation personal sponsor that's been in less than 4 Fridays. It does not work if they've been in past 4 Fridays. It would just simply be base pay, which you're going to understand in just a second. So again, you can sponsor as many people as you want. There is no time frame and there is no limit. Every time you sponsor a new person, you'll be paid 30% on whatever they sell or buy for the first 4 Fridays that they're in the business, or until they hit top pay at Ultimate. Anything else, Kim, there?
Nope, you got it.
Okay. Now here's the great thing. When you personally sponsor somebody inside of your back office will allow you to place your personal sponsors at the bottom of your organizational leg of your choice. So you can see there, let's just look at that first leg there. It says 1. If it says 1 and you're Ultimate, you'll be paid 30% the first 4 Fridays. And you can see 2 means that they went and sponsor somebody. So they're just normal base pay, which you'll understand in a second. But if you take a personal sponsor and put it at the very bottom, then you're going to be paid 30% again for 4 Fridays on that particular person. And let's just say you put a 500 point order there. You'd be paid $150 or 30% on that 500 point order. But that 500 points is shared now by everybody above it. It creates volume in either a power or a pay leg, which you'll understand all that as we continue going. And Kim, I know you're really, really good at that. Anything you want to add?
Yes, I always try to I did a training yesterday, and this is exactly what I trained. I always try to place my order up under a new person and put them where the most people would get a piece of that pie. So if it would be on your pay leg, then that's fine. But if you have to put them on your power leg, you want as many people to get paid up the line, because in another certain area that we get paid, then that would benefit you more in that particular area. So you have to study these legs just like he's got them broke down.
And there will be a second video on this website, if that's where you're looking at it, that will go through the placement of all that so you can understand that thoroughly in a separate video. Okay, so again, when you personally sponsor that person, you'll be paid 1,500 times 30% in their route to get to top pay themselves, or $450. And all that volume that went through there is shared by everybody above it in their base pay. Okay. So again, it just occurs every 4 Fridays. So as we start personally sponsoring, new volume bonus works on every leg. It is non-discretionary. But as we start, you may start building 2 legs, 3 legs, or more. But generally speaking, a lot of people start with 2 legs. So once the 4th Friday passes, that person, and then for sure, everybody else that is signed up unlimited, we're going to move now to the 3rd area of pay, which is called our base pay. And the way base pay works is really, really simple. You're going to get, if you're only building 2 legs, you're going to get 15% of the lesser of those 2 legs to unlimited depth. You are paid on that first leg too, but just not in this area. But 15% now unlimited, meaning when they sign up other brand partners, and when they sign up other brand partners and it starts to move around the world, it's non-discretionary. Doesn't matter what country, what continent that a new business center opens up in. When it opens up to unlimited depth and starts selling products, you're going to get a 15% commission. By the way, our weeks run Friday night at midnight to Friday night at midnight. This particular area of pay, if you look under my money, under volume, it runs on real time. So if somebody enters your organization anywhere in the world or buys or sells products, you'll see it show up on real time. And there's going to be an estimated calculator already telling you what your 15% unlimited is going to be paying you the following Friday. So you can see here, this is just an example again, what all creates base pay. New brand partners, when they join, that 1,500 points get into ultimates counting. Random purchases of any sort are counting. Sales of all products via what we call our smart links count. Auto ships count. Everything that creates a sale to unlimited depth is going to be paying you. Okay, just know that you're not limited to 2 legs. You can actually build, in our company, you can build as many legs as you want to. And you're going to be paid 15% of every leg you ever build, except for the biggest. So if you have 3 legs growing, you'd be paid 15% in this particular scenario of leg 2 and 3. You can see there that when you multiply those 2 legs times 15%, you would make $900. I will tell you, for those that really understand pay plans, that that there's any volume against the power leg left over, that will carry over in the power leg to the following week. All right, here's another look, same exact thing, just different numbers. You can see in this particular scenario, leg 1 had 13,000, leg 2 had 1,224, leg 3 had 9,171. So in that particular scenario, you made $1,560 for the week, 15% of all sales to unlimited depth. Now, the ultimate goal, of which Kim now does almost every week, is to start what we call, our terminology is called optimizing legs. So it might begin with just optimizing your first 2 legs, but eventually you want to get as many legs as possible optimized. Now, what does that mean? Easy translation means that you make $2,000 in base pay that week in a leg. That's the easy translation. That leg maxes at 2,000 for the week. And when it does, you trigger shares in a 3% global bonus pool. So this global bonus pool is always kind of moving. So we are all watching it grow right now. It's getting larger and larger week over week over week. So as an example, when you get the first two legs of business, both that do 13,000 in volume, if you do the math, 13,334, the reason for the funky looking number is if you multiply that times 15%, that is your 2,000 in base pay. But that's also now going to trigger a $470 bonus. It's actually close to 500 now because, again, it's a moving target, always growing on 3% global set aside. So then if you get leg 3 to do it, same thing over again, another 2,000 and another $500 bonus. But starting leg 4 forward, it begins an exponential bonus pool run. So let's look at this sheet here. By the way, if you want this in writing, go to your Partner Co Share app, go down to the very bottom, it'll say Tools, and then you can go print off a PDF that will be highly detailed if you're an analytical person on all of this. But basically right now, what we call our Payline bonus pool is worth about $250 per share. So you get an exponential number of shares depending on how many pay lines you have that hit 2,000. So generally speaking, Kim has 3 legs that optimize every week, working on a 4th now. But it's a little tricky because the first 2 legs are called an income position. Leg 3 forward begins the Payline bonus pool. So the Payline bonus pool right now, if you get that 3rd leg built for that leg, is going to be $500. It says Payline 2, but that's really 4 because remember, the 3rd leg starts the Payline pool. It's 2 separate pools, Payline pool, income position bonus pool. So it's $500 on leg 2 on this screen, another $500 on leg 3, because again, it's higher than the PowerPoint shows there now because it's rising all the time. So right here on this slide, which comes straight off the PDF of the actual document on your Partner Co Share app. So Payline 3, which is Payline 1, leg 3, Payline 1, $500 bonus. But you can see number 4 total, number 2 Payline, the bonus jumps to $1,500. And you can see the exponential nature. So every one of those would be paying you $2,000 a week in base pay. And in addition to the 2,000, you would get the correlating bonus money that you see there. That's how you can get to what I call the big money that walks. We have a lot of people that it's walked away from their full-time careers, and this is now what they do for their full-time living. Anything you want to add there? Because I know, Kim, for a long time, you did not get access to that bonus money, but then you started optimizing, and I know now you chase it every week.
Yes. And again, like I shared yesterday, this is a week. This is not a month's pay. This is every single week. I had to tell somebody that yesterday because they kept thinking this was a month, but this is every week that you optimize that many legs, you get that every week.
Yep. And this side here is only the bonus money. You'd be getting 2,000 per leg of base pay on top of that. So, you know, we don't have anybody in this country doing it. We do have a lady in China who has optimized this whole thing. So we do have a lady in China. Kim and I met her in Tahiti last year. So she's got actually 9 done. So she's making 9 times 2,000. And I think that bonus money on the 9th leg jumps to about 24,000. So 9 times 2,000 is 18,000 plus a $24,000 bonus is what this particular lady in China was doing when we met her in Tahiti. We have a skinny drop system where we all know we're buying these 10 packs. So I always tell everybody a great shortcut. If you're a great trainer of getting the boards downloaded on people's phone, getting your team selling 10 packs every week, it takes 27 10 packs ordered per leg to optimize it. Now that doesn't include random purchases, auto ships, all those other things. So like if you're building this correctly on our system, 27 per leg per week optimizes a leg. So if you wanted 10 legs optimized, you would need at least 27 per leg selling through 10 10 boxes a week, and then that would optimize 10 legs. So it actually is really, really simple with the skinny drop system to get these legs optimized in very, very quickly. All right, Kim, this is your favorite. I know it's your favorite week of the month now, but back in the beginning, you were a stickler making sure you always got this. And here's what it is. This is yet another way you're paid. It's called our savings bonus. When you start getting your base pay every Friday, the company, once you reach at least $250 for the week in base pay, the company will match 15% extra into a savings account. You do not have access to it until it hits 10,000. You will see it growing on real time inside of your dashboard the second you log in on your app and or the website. Kim, I know that early on, you used to watch this like a stickler, making sure you never missed a week. You didn't get that 15% match.
Absolutely. That was my first goal. When I remember that was my first goal, is to get $250 on my lesser leg, which is my base commission. If I did not have $250 by 10 o'clock Friday night, I was ordering something to get $250, because this that Partner Co puts in 15%, that's free money. Who don't want free money? So that was my goal, was to always get $250 every week.
Okay. Once that savings account in your dashboard hits 10,000, you're going to get a ton of recognition, lot on stage, on social media. But more importantly, we have, by the way, the savings account. We have a savings account Friday. It's about the fourth Friday every month. But that next savings account Friday, you'll get an extra $10,000 put in there. So once it hits 10,000, it's released on a normal Friday paycheck. And then from that point forward, they will release it once a month. So every fourth Friday, you'll get up to an additional $2,000 put in your check, because they do cap the match at $500 extra per week. So I know, Kim, you've always been the same. On savings account week, you always text me, hey, this is savings account week. We can't wait till Friday.
That's right. It's awesome. It's something to look for to every single month. And because that makes a big difference in your paycheck. And what I've decided to do, me and Eric has decided that savings bonus is going up for retirement. So every month, I know $2,000 is going into a retirement fund for us.
Yeah, and you'll just see, I don't even know now. It seems like we have a person, 2 or 3 every week now get this $10,000. John Oakey's with us. You'll see him there on the screen there. Gracie Turner, pastors there next to him in Pensacola, Florida. Dr. Crystal, Tanya, Andrea, they were all winners. This is a little while back at a little thing we did here in Florida. They'd all won it leading up to that event. But they're winning all the time now. We can't even keep up anymore. And then that leads us now to the last big way we're paid. And long term, this may end up being your largest area of pay, but it does take time to build in, because it works off other people making money. But we call it the power of matching bonus. I like to call it the power of matching check, because it makes it exactly what it is. The company is going to match every single person in your organization through the first 7 generations. They're going to give you a percentage of their base pay. So here's how it works specifically. When you sponsor somebody, remember, when you sponsor them, they're on your first generation, and that's where you get that new volume bonus of 30% for the first 4 Fridays. But if you're ultimate, you're locked at top pay, you're also going to get, by the way, you do have to qualify for this area of pay. And to qualify for it, you have 2 choices. You can go ultimate in that first 4 Fridays, which comes with gold status and unlocks the first 3 generations for life. Or you can sponsor 4 brand partners in your first 8 weeks, and that will also unlock the first 3 generations for life. It's called gold status. Never have to requalify once done. But anybody that you have personally sponsored into the business for $29.95 on your first generation, every Friday when they get their base pay, the company will match 15% of their check into your check. They get their full amount. So Let's just say that Kim signed up John and John made $100 next Friday. John gets direct deposit of $100 in base pay. Kim gets a $15 match put into her check. There, and for anybody that's been around our industry, there's some real important things about this. Number one, there is no breakaway. It does not matter what you're making or what they're making. You never lose them under any circumstance. Number two, we have what's called dynamic compression. So you must be qualified with an active auto ship to receive pay from the company. So if somebody turns their auto ship off or a customer turns it off that they were using, then everything auto bounces northward, meaning everything compresses up. So your second generation would become your first if somebody on your first turned it off. But it's called dynamic compression because we never kick anybody out of the company. So if they turn it back on, it just compresses back out. But just know that there's no limit. So if you sign up somebody on your first generation, and let's just say 5, 6, 7 years down the road, they were to make $1 million annually in base pay, throughout that year, you would have been matched 150,000, 15% of $1 million. No other company that I've ever seen their compensation plan would allow that to happen. There would be a breakaway because they passed you up. There's a number of reasons they cut that off in other companies. That's the reason we've been ranked by the direct sales, Better Business from Home, the #1 compensation plan in the world out of 7,000 companies, because our true payout is larger than other companies because of we don't have the gotchas and catches that so many companies have. So the next thing is that when they sponsor somebody, meaning you sponsored them on your first generation, you can sponsor, you want to make 15% of 100 people's check, go sponsor 100 people. And every Friday, if they're getting paid base pay, you get a 15% match of 100 checks. But when they sign up people, that's your second generation, and it's a 10% match. 5% on the third. The first 3 generations, again, unlocked for life, which means with Ultimate or sponsoring 4 people in your first 8 weeks. However, so you do not need a second leg. This is all if you only had 1 leg. But 4th generation forward, you do need your second leg growing, because those unlock based upon your base pay, which will be your pay leg pay. And that's a $500 paycheck to unlock 4, 1,000, 5, and so forth there. So the illustration you see on the screen there is simply based upon if everybody just made $100 next Friday from the company in base pay. So if you sponsored 4 people, all 4 of those people got paid $100 next Friday, that would be $400 in paid out income. Your 15% match is $60. 16 people on the second generation make $100, $1,600 times 10%, $160. So you can kind of understand where all that math comes from down through there. It won't happen exactly like that. Some will make a lot, some might make 0. You know, I'll always put the income disclaimer in that this is not a job. This is a business. People outperform and out earn, and some people underperform and don't earn. So it all depends on what you're going to put into it or not into it. So that is for illustration purposes only if you were to build it out.
And Todd, on that particular matching, which this might be where you're fixing to go, on the matching pay bonus, you get that on all of your legs, your pay leg and your power leg. So that might be where you're fixing to go with this.
Yeah. So, you know, even if you only had 1 leg, again, very different than most companies, the first 3 generations of matching check will pay out if you only had 1 leg. You do not have to have a second leg to collect this. And it works on every leg always. There is no exception. But here's the crazy thing. Remember we talked about personally sponsoring new people in depth? So we always tell people just generic, easy understanding. And this is the default of the enrollment. We're always going to place our new brand partner at the very bottom of a pay leg that we're building. That way, everybody above it gets the volume to share either in their power leg or pay leg, depending on how it fell on them. You're generally only going to sponsor onto your pay legs. It would be a very rare exception to sponsor onto a power leg. But so always kind of be thinking that way. But when you sponsor at the bottom, the new volume bonus is going to flow at 30% for the first 4 Fridays, but it also restarts matching check. So you can see there, when you personally sponsor somebody at the bottom of one of those legs, they're first generation to you again. And when they sponsor somebody, they'll be second generation, although you could have put them under 100 people. It's a really unique feature in the pay plan. Anything to add, Kim?
Nope, you got it.
All right. As we end this up, just for fun, the company gives you the ability to have an alternate pay plan running at all time. We call it Partner Co Rewards. We are not going to explain it, but everything that pays you in the real pay plan, selling product, sponsoring people, helping them get to ultimate, helping them grow a business, growing your matching check, growing your base pay, all of those things kick off reward points for your free vacations. Last year, Kim won it, but we had a free trip globally to Tahiti and the French Polynesian Islands. You see the map there, all the different islands we went to. How was that, Kim?
It was awesome. It was very, very, I would not have been able to have went to any of these without being a part of Partner Co.
And this year, the global trip, which is a little harder to win, you'll get all the details on that on a different training. We'll have a on this same website. You should be able to find down, scroll down a little bit. You'll find the how to win your free vacations. But this year, the 2025 vacation has now been set to Bali, Indonesia. It is kind of that part of the world's Tahiti. We also have, in addition to our global trip, we have what we call continent trips. So here in North America, Mexico, Canada, the United States, we have our own trip that we can win. It's much easier to win than the global trip. So last year, that trip was to the Bahamas. There's the Grand Hyatt everybody stayed at. But this year, the trip everybody's winning right now will be to an all-inclusive in Punta Cana, Dominican Republic. So in addition to the pay plan, you're able to win 2 free vacations a year. And if you totally win it all, you're able to take 2 people plus airfare. There is a sliding scale to get airfare free too. And there's a sliding scale per person of how many reward dollars you have to earn. Again, there'll be a separate video explaining all of that. But just know you're able to win 2 free trips a year, and they are absolutely amazing. So we encourage you, the pay plan does not do anyone any good to learn it. The skill you've got to learn is how to sell products retail and how to find other brand partners who know how to sell products retail. That's the skill. And then you don't have to memorize all this. You just got to get that growing. And then the 9 different ways the company pays you will just start happening. And it's all tracked for you real time. Closing comments, Kim?
I just love my Partner Co. I just love being a part of this, and it has really changed my life. And it can change anybody's life, just like it has changed mine.
Okay, Sarah, we can cut the recording and